Hello viewers, GodEaterV here giving you another video. This video is going to be on advanced tips and tricks for combat. It's not going to include specific kit review combat training, but it'll be in general combat. We'll cover primary combat, secondary weapons, range weapons, movement, chasing people down, choosing what targets to go for, how to use your compass, blocking up safely, going down safely, and inventory and time management. First up, we have primary combat. Primary combat includes just meleeing with swords, left click to melee sword, right click to block. Using a combination of the two is called hit blocking, and this is a action, as you can see, when you're faced away from it. It sort of looks like you're gouging your eye out. You have a floppy noodle of a sword. Regular hitting's straightforward. This gives you an advantage while striking people down. You are also having a chance to block some of the incoming damage being dealt to you at the same time. Trying to use this to utilize it is jumping while using it to thrust forward, and so on. Although hit blocking is very important, it's better to know how to alternate between the three different kinds of combat. For example, when you have the element of surprise, left click spam is the best thing to use. When you're face to face with them and they know you're coming at them, hit blocking is very good. When you're in defensive mode, when there's creepers around and monsters, blocking and then hitting blocking is the key. Being that every character in Minecraft is 2 blocks high, the sword is actually equipped to the top block of your player, meaning that the actual range of attack is going to be much higher, if not twice as high, as aiming upwards than downwards. Thus, if you stay low to the ground, you're better off. It's important to have some kind of secondary weapon when you're fighting. Lava buckets are very good, flint and steel, snowballs for knockback, and bows and arrows. Here's how they're used in combat. Picking up ranged weapons of any kind are good for getting people out of towers. Whether it be something strange like eggs or snowballs, anything will do the trick. Rather than going in a straight fight, sometimes using your secondary weapons is a good means of getting rid of opponents, whether it's dripping down lava or exploding them with TNT. Unfortunately, the same concept does not apply to bow and arrow. When it comes to bow and arrow, you can get carried away with shooting your opponents from very far distances, but eventually they'll just heal up from soups and bring back more soups, and your arrows will be a complete waste. Moving is crucial in this game. Sprinting and jumping are much faster than just sprinting alone. Also, if you're able to get under low trees, you can continually hit the spacebar while sprint jumping to get a much needed boost in a tricky situation. In some snow biomes there are large patches of ice. Ice can be used to move a lot faster with gliding motion. While climbing small hills, you want to try and alternate left to right in order to climb the hills without being interrupted by bumping into large blocks. Going down hills, simply don't jump when needed, otherwise you will take fall damage and slow down. Here's an example of what not to do when climbing a mountain. Climbing it straight up will cause you to interrupt yourself by bumping into the blocks with your feet. Going down, as I said before, you will take fall damage and slow down. Being 100+ people in Hunger Games, you don't have to go for every single target you see. Some targets are very high up or very low. Sometimes it's better just to get close to them enough to get a new target with your compass, and then travel on. But for this instance, let's say that you need to go. It's the last guy, you've got all your stuff, you've gotten to the feast. He's up in a very tall tower. Now, to safely go upwards, I recommend this method. By creating a nice wall with 3 different blocks in your back, you're going to be unable to be knocked back from any projectiles thrown at you. Also, if you've recently gone to the feast, another tip is to keep the ender pearls in the chests. You can use them to teleport yourself over to the tall towers that your opponents are sitting at. Here I have a little picture of how your compass works. When you left-click or right-click your compass and a block, it will read in text your nearest target's name. When your target has become too far, or strays farther than another target, the closest target will now be named. If your target actually becomes so close to you that it actually believes that it's your teammate, your compass will actually point to the second closest person. Here I'm going to show an example of what your inventory should look like prior to the feast. It's got primary, secondary, even a tertiary weapon, some blocks to use, and full of soup, with more soup being able to be converted later. Here's an example of what your inventory shouldn't look like. Charcoal doesn't help in cooking process any faster. Cacti, useless. Torches, just have your brightness up. Saddles, ink, sacks, duplicates, triplicates of items. Always just have your best items. Unequipped gear that you picked up. Beds you don't need. Other various things you don't need. And especially gold weapons and armor are a big no, other than gold helms, which are equivalent to iron helms. Gold swords are equivalent to wood swords. It's just terrible. Take the time out of your very busy schedule to simply toss out your junk, because you're going to have to anyway if you're going to improve your gear later, and it's better to do it when you're safe. So take the 20 seconds to throw out your stuff, and it'll save you a lot of time. Another instance of saving a lot of time is stacking items. Here I have an example of how I created full iron armor in less than a couple seconds. If you guys like these videos that I've been doing, or you find them helpful at all, just let me know, send a like. If you want me to do more videos, send a comment in the search below. If not, this is my last video. Thanks for watching, guys.